Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. I really do appreciate you all being here. Hopefully, you all have had a wonderful day so far. Um, for me, it has been, again, very crazy, trying to put fires out at work, things like that. Very, very, very interesting time for sure for me. Oh, the joys of having well, lots of stuff to do. Anyways, I love coming on here and doing the shows with you all because it gives me a moment to just take a second and take a break and move away from the critical, crazy thinking of doing IT related stuff, and then coming in here and having a fun time. We'll put it that way. It gives me a minute to just unwind for a second, take a break, and come back over here and everything. So, anyways, if you are watching live, we have a live chat running on YouTube. I really do appreciate those of you who come in here every single day and have a conversation with me and with each other. It does mean a lot. It means that to me, it means, what we're talking about here makes sense. What we're talking about here, we have a lot of fun with. So, I do really enjoy that part of the show here. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that we had built community around this. So, but anyways, if you get to the end of this show here today and you like the content, do me a favor and smash those likes. If you would not mind, help me grow the channel out. I'm this close to 2,000 subscribers. It would be amazing to bump over that. So if you guys and gals wouldn't mind, share it on your socials. Try to get friends, family, folks maybe to jump in, and nothing else, hit the subscribe button. YouTube has different thresholds that matter to them. It's really weird, but once we get to that point, and I understand it, it'll change the algorithms, and you'll get more and more people in here who want to see this type of content. So, those of you who have helped me get here so far, it has been amazing. You guys are the best. It's not me. It doesn't work without you all. Let's just put it that way. It really does not work without you all. So if you are indeed watching live, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to pull this over here in just a second, but we'll take a look at that. I have a Patreon show I do every day at 4:30. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen here, and it's linked in the description of the channel. It's $5 a month. It's not a lot, but it allows me to have a conversation kind of like what I did yesterday. Yesterday's conversation was more, I don't know how I would categorize it. From the heart, I guess, but it was also about subjects that I cannot talk about the stuff on this channel. It will get removed. The other one, I can rework the plumbing and rebuild it. This one's very different. So anyways, go over there. If you want to join, those of you who have, genuinely means a lot to me. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. It is for sure a blessing to me and to my family just to see that there. So anyways, what was the other thing I was going to say? Let's see here. Bitcoin bull last night. Yes, I did. It was intense. It was interesting. It was from the heart, though. Let's put it that way. Anyways, let's roll through here and say hey, good morning, whatnot to everyone. Oh, last thing. If you want to help the channel out, there is Crypto Confidential. Grab that link. Go check that out. Definitely content and types of stuff you can't really get very many places else. So very, very proprietary, private type thing. Definitely worth the time and investment, in my opinion. Anyways, I will pop in here and say good morning, Kim. What's going on? How are you doing? Thanks for being here. What's up, Tom? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Johnny Holder, how's it going, brother? Good to see you, man. Let's see. We got Steve. What's going on? How are you doing? It's good to see you. Crypto disposition. Excuse me. How are you today? Not imaginative. I think. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not imaginative. Good morning. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Bitcoin Bull, what is up? What is going on? Rick, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a little bit. Thanks for popping in, man. Really do appreciate it. What's going on, Larry? How are you? It's good to see you. Let's see who else do we have here. Daddy-O, what's up, brother? It's good to see you, man. Yes, I already pulled this up. We had fun with last night's Patreon. It was good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Really did. Definitely enjoyed that. If you are interested, it's $5. Go check it out. You don't have to stay if you don't want to, but the other content on there is definitely a lot more in depth on like current events, things like that. I have definitely shown you all some evidential related stuff around what's happening with Ukraine and Russia, and I've talked a lot about why they didn't just carpet bomb the whole thing or whatever. If they were really going to do that kind of stuff and just go in and rebuild, blah 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 blah. There is more of a surgical type of thing, like very precise what they're doing. Just saying. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff. Looks like I forgot to share my screen for today, so I'm going to try and do that here in just a second. But I kind of wanted to get into today. Nothing really crazy happening out. Hey, it's Crypto Professor. What's up, man? Thanks for popping in. It's good to see you, brother. Good to see you. You want to do me a favor if you're watching live on different platforms, comment and like and all that fun stuff. It shows up in the in the program here that we're using for the stream. Anyways, nothing too crazy going on in the markets or in the world really, other than I don't know. Yesterday they raised the Fed raised the rates, and the market skyrocketed. Why did that happen? Who knows? Maybe because it shows strength. I don't know. To these people, it makes zero sense. It's almost like the Fed pumped the market up massively beforehand, announced the rate hike, and then continued to pump it up. It's very weird. This is not retail investors doing this. It is not. I mean, are any of you doing this stuff? I mean, I'm not. This stuff it's intense. Just to be honest, it is straight up intense. So, okay, if the share button will work, let's see what it happens when I click this button. And I got the right one. Sweet. Sometimes I grab the wrong one. And it's very like, what? That's weird. Anyways, crypto in general is a little bit down right now. Okay. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good little breath. But that little run up doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, look at these choppy, and in this run. Does that make sense to you? Doesn't make sense to me. And then that gap right there in the NASDAQ, I mean, legitimately, the NASDAQ, it dropped a lot. Or the S&P 500, I mean, what's up with that? You know? I don't know. You got gold that's up today. You got silver that's up today. Actually, these two being up is very interesting to me as well. Anyways, like I say every day, I look at the charts for the second time during the day when we're doing the shows. The reason I do that is so that I can actually take a second for me, selfishly, to check out what's going on. But it also kind of gets into the what's going on with things happening here, anyways. So, titled this one, the fear of Bitcoin, the fear of cryptocurrency is really starting to set in when it comes to the powers that be, so to speak, right? We've got all the regulators and all the banking system, all the like the SEC and all these different people who are overstepping their bounds, who are doing things they really shouldn't be doing and abusing the authority which they think that they have when they don't. Gotta really understand. This isn't how our system is supposed to be set up in the first place, using it as it is intended, but let's just be honest here. The way we have cryptocurrency coming onto the scene, you've got the executive order where Flashbang signs it in, where they're going to start really looking into CBDCs and making that a big deal. It's funny, yesterday I had a conversation with folks around some of the blockchain stuff I'm doing at work, and I was like, you guys know that this is coming in the pipe, right? And that, like, my brother-in-law, he has a landscaping company, and our cousin is one of the primary managers of another company, and I'm like, you all know you're going to have to start accepting crypto soon, right? Like, in the next year or two, you're going to have to be able to do that. You know that, right? And they're kind of like, wait, what? No one knows about it, except for whatever reason, everyone who follows along with cryptocurrency seems to know about it. But the general public don't realize at all. It was a shock to me. I'm like, wow, y'all don't know that you're about to have central bank digital currencies. What the crap? Okay. Well, we need to have a conversation and get this going. Anyways, I digress. The point of telling you guys that is that we are coming into a time where people are going to be absolutely blown away with what they're going to have to do with this stuff. But the really, really cool part is that central bank digital currency, when they come out and tell you it's going to track transactions, they're going to be able to see what illicit stuff's going on. They're going to be able to see what people spend money on and track all this different stuff. People are going to go, Some idiots will do it, and they'll incentivize people to do it. And this is what they'll do. Actually, I think I was talking to Litecoin Leader about this. Yeah, I think Litecoin Leader is definitely spot on with this scenario. There's multiple scenarios, but I had not processed it out in the way he put it. But anyways, it was more basically like this. They're going to get rid of the dollar, but the way they're going to get rid of the dollar is going to incentivize people to take the central bank digital currency by giving them double the amount of fiat or the amount of crypto fiat. We'll call it crypto fiat. For the dollars that they have. So they'll have more money in their hand just for taking, you'll get for every USD you return, you get 2 CBDCs or whatever it is, FedCoin, whatever it is going to be, or 3 or whatever. They're going to incentivize people to get it so that they can have more. That's a theory. I don't think that is definitely one direction it could go for sure. And I think that's actually, I thought that they were going to potentially just replace everything, get rid of the inflation doing this, but that is for sure one way to do it. I actually do not disagree with that. So Litecoin Leader, if you do watch this, spot on, brother. I really actually think that you're not wrong with that at all. I had not processed it to that level. So, but anyways, that's coming down the pipe. People are going to go, they'll take it, and then I hope that they'll sit there and rush right into crypto, as in Bitcoin, as in the real cryptocurrencies, the Litecoins, things like that. It is going to be uniquely interesting. I really don't know how long it's going to take, but I really think Cliff's not wrong that it will fail. I really do. Just curious to see what's going to happen personally. So, this is one thing that I think we all need to kind of pay attention to. Let's see. How does that look? Does that look better? Or does that look better? I'll just show it like this. All right. So, COVID, war, inflation, recession fears. The stock market can't keep up. In the past few days, they've been telling you and everyone else, this particular news outlet, here's what you need to know. Here's what you need to think. Blah, 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 blah. Instead of letting you make your own mind up, they're telling you what to think. So, anyways, very, very idiotic stupidity on that one. But anyways, it's been a year full of worries for investors and geopolitical conflict, to inflation, to the pandemic, hunger disease, and it doesn't look like the concerns will ease anytime soon. The combination of these major macroeconomic and geopolitical issues will make it difficult for stocks to climb out of their hole and finish 2022 in the positive territory, some experts say. You think? I mean, really? Think about that for a second. That's what's going to happen. It's going to stay there. Realistically, it's going to fall off a cliff, in my personal opinion. There are way too many headwinds to expect good returns for stocks this year. David Spica, President and Chief Investment Officer of Guidestone Capital Management. Interesting. Uncertainty continues to weigh on the investor sentiment. I wonder why. Prices of things have legitimately skyrocketed, and I keep getting notices all morning. Oil may have dropped 14% or whatever it was. I talked about that yesterday. Well, guess what? It's up 7% today. Someone took profit, and it's still climbing. Yeah, there's no relief for you or me or anyone at the pump, let alone at the gas station or at the gas station, let alone at the grocery store. It is. Oh my goodness. The list of strains of stocks is pretty long. We have the war, the reminder that the hunger disease is an endemic and significant long-lasting disruptions to supply chains. Investors are understandably hunkering down. Yeah, interesting. So that's gold, that's silver, that's real estate, that's now Bitcoin, Litecoin, things like that. It's very interesting. It's going to be a tough. Blah, blah, blah. Speak, Papa Joe, speak. It's going to be tough for the Fed to get it right, Reinhardt said. Any reasonable person would say that recession risks are more elevated today than 6 months ago. We have all these different sectors, okay? We have energy, we have general stocks, we have retail, we have uh did I say real estate already? I said energy. Real estate. You've got all these different sectors that are creating massive tops, double and triple tops. We're just kind of like, how long is this going to go on? And the Federal Reserve has been telling us the whole time that they have been holding the market up. And that they're going to stop. This month is when they're going to stop. They raised the rate. Which did what? That doesn't directly affect rates with like cars, credit cards, housing directly. However, it does quickly go and make it so that way you end up dealing with it later down the road when they do it 3 and 4 and 5 times, 6 times. It's going to get really rough, people. Anyways, I brought this up specifically just to kind of point out that yes, we are very aware of this type of stuff going on and that the stock market can't keep up. They're basically telling you, hey, the bottom's about to fall out. We are about to pull the lever to literally release the entire everything is going to just completely go. Now, I had pulled up an article I thought to talk about. Where did it go? Well, we're going to have to pivot, it looks like, for the show today. I'm sorry about that. Abrupt pivot. Here we go. Congress members demand answers from SEC on crypto company probes. Eight members of Congress have written Gary Gensler, chairman of the Securities Exchange, the SEC, whatever, about the SEC's treatment of crypto firms. Particularly, the Congress people imply that the SEC is misusing its investigative divisions. Now, that brings to mind Veritasium, Reggie Middleton. Reggie, if you ever do watch these, I'd love to have you on the show to talk about that. Not specifically any of the legalities around it, but your technology, what it does, things like that. So I'm sure some of the listeners here would love to hear that information. And I personally would love to ask direct questions around the technology. I'm a technologist. I love learning about technology, and specifically that type of crypto is very unique to me. Anyways, the eight members of the Congressional Blockchain Caucus. Where did that happen? When did that come about? Sent a letter, March 16th, Congressman Tom Emmer, Republican, and spearheaded the initiative, which finds fault with the SEC's scrutiny of the crypto industry. My office has received numerous tips from crypto and blockchain firms that the SEC chair Gensler's information reporting requests to the crypto company are overburdensome, don't feel particularly voluntary, and are stifling innovation. In other words, they're having to go answer these stupid questions instead of building that net new project that they're doing. An excerpt from the letter reads, "It appears there has been a recent trend towards employing the enforcement division's investigative functions to gather information from unregulated cryptocurrency and blockchain industry participants in a manner inconsistent with the Commission's standards for initiating investigations. Emmer's office would not identify the firms that have been receiving these inquiries when reached. Hmm. Gensler Gensler has taken on a prominent role as a nemesis for many of the crypto industry, seeing since being confirmed early last year. Now, him being a blockchain professor at MIT and his involvement and understanding of that type of stuff, it kind of makes you wonder, does he hold, say, Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum? It's interesting that he doesn't talk about those. I'll bet you he won't talk about anything he holds personally. But he wants every other company to disappear, comply or disappear, so that way the ones that he holds succeed. Because these new innovative ways of doing things, look, in this world of technology, especially with blockchain, one person's idea may be great and it might do really, really well. And then the next person's going to go, that's a great idea. If we do it this way, it's infinitely better. And they go and they build that. And guess what happens? That original idea is what's called leapfrog. The technological term is leapfrog. This little thing springs up. It's fantastic. It's blooming, whatever. It's great. It's doing amazing. And then you have something that's infinitely better that someone just all of a sudden quickly too, because it spins up real fast. It's done. Just boom. Completely negates the need or the use case for that original idea entirely. It happens a lot in this space. And they could be squishing those ideas out. They could be taking the little guys and going, no, you can't do that. Sorry. They're afraid of the control mechanisms that they are losing. They're afraid of losing their control over the monetary system at the end of the day. That is really realistically what's happening here. I keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. They need to know. People need to know. Let's look at this one. Bitcoin is mutilating and mutality? I've never actually read that word. Huh. Bitcoin as mutality, I guess it means whatever. And global barter. I wanted to bring this right here. Barter is an economic system in which money is, for all intents and purposes, absent. I give you guitar lessons and you give me chickens. There is no medium of exchange other than actual goods, services, expenses, etc. It wasn't that long ago that people lived in a communities in which such mutuality, I guess that's what that is, mutually beneficial, whatever, formed the foundations of human organization. Much has changed. Bitcoin offers us a chance to reclaim mutuality and the very spirit of barter as our human birthright. I think that is actually a very good point. I am glad that they brought this up. I had talked about this a long time ago. Someone asked me, like, isn't Bitcoin like more like a barter system? I'm like, yeah, it basically is. It basically is, but it becomes a person to person. There is no intermediary. There's no third party saying we will take care of your money for you and divvy it up, etc. Do all that fun stuff. When the banking system came in on the scene, it's going to be very, very, very crazy what happens. Bitcoin Bull. Dave on X22 suggests that stolen, extorted criminal fiat funds in Ukraine might be transferred out using Bitcoin. Well, that's an interesting thought. Dave is usually not wrong about that kind of stuff. I actually could see that being what they're doing. Putting it into Bitcoin and moving it out, and then selling it and getting rid of it. Officially. That's interesting. Hmm. Uh, oh, you guys are talking. Sorry. I will be there, by the way. If you guys want to, if anyone's there, by the way, I will be in Miami at the Bitcoin 22 conference, or all around it, if you will. I'll be doing stuff around it. But yeah, it would be very interesting if you guys want to be there. Fun times for sure. Anyways, Bitcoin as barter or as a bartering system. I love it. I think it's going to be a great idea. More adoption, but on a person to person basis is very, very great for us. All right. This one. I'm all over the place today. Like I said, it's been very crazy for me and then personal life and then with work and stuff like that. It's just been absolutely nuts. Excuse me. Bitcoin faces a new milestone in 2022 as new forecast predicts Bitcoin prices in the millions. Gold surpassing Bitcoin's returns this year is unlikely, says Mike McGlone, while former BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes predicts a seismic changes for both assets in the coming years. I think Arthur Hayes is probably more right. Bitcoin may be primed for a quantum leap in its development thanks to inflation this year, a Bloomberg analyst has claimed. In a tweet on March 17th, Mike McGlone, senior commodity strategist at Bloomberg's Intelligence, released a fresh bullish take on Bitcoin's future under the current macro conditions. Gold beating Bitcoin is unlikely this year. Yeah. Facing the Federal Reserve, inflation, and war, 2022 may be primed for risk asset revision, and mark another milestone in Bitcoin's maturation, he wrote. It is unlikely for Bitcoin to stop outperforming gold stock market amid bumps in the road as the Fed attempts to another rate hike cycle. So, former BitMEX CEO sees $1 million for Bitcoin. McGlone, however, was far from alone in his prediction. Arthur Hayes, former CEO of derivatives exchange BitMEX, delivered a stark warning about what was to come for global financial markets in his latest Medium post. You cannot remove the world's largest energy producer and the collateral these commodity resources represent from the financial system without serious, unimagined, and unintended consequences. By the way, has anyone thought about that if all the Bitcoin mining just vanished? What would the energy companies do with all that excess electricity and power that they are now using to mine with? That they're enjoying the payments from? Because I guarantee you, having a mine that pays, I'm going to guesstimate here, $500,000, $1 million a month on electricity to a specific power company, do you really think that power company's going to miss that? What happens if they just ban that? They're not going to ban it because they have a mutually beneficial agreement. They make money or make crypto with the Bitcoin mining equipment. The power companies enjoy the payments from that. Everyone's happy. And yet they think it's green. It's not green. It's using electricity. Yeah, those power companies are producing more electricity than we need. And these mines are coming online and making sure that the power companies get paid for the excess electricity that they aren't using. What happens when it goes away? You're going to have an uprising. You're going to have an uprising. Yeah, they think Bitcoin's going to $1 million. I think Bitcoin can go to $1 million too. I don't know when. I don't think they don't say when. No one's going to say when. I mean, it'd be stupid. Realistically, though, people, it will. It's not hard. There's only 21 million in there. It's going to be crazy. And I want to point this out because this is one of the things. I don't know what this whole FUD dice is. But anyways, let's just talk about it for a second. The U.S. Treasury confirms we can remove illicit activity from Bitcoin FUD dice. I don't know what FUD dice is. I actually want to go look at that. Actually, let's pull it up right here, right now. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's I'm gonna go take a look at that. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. All right, cool. Oh, I see. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's time to take the illicit activity off of the FUD dice. Earlier this month, the U.S. Department of Treasury published reports that indicated that the use of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies for illicit activity is far outstripped by the use of traditional assets. Critics can no longer credibly present the specter of illicit activity to beat back Bitcoin. Now, the foremost experts in the world say it is not a major threat. You know why it's not a major threat? Because blockchain technology, specifically for Bitcoin, it is a public ledger. Every transaction is anonymous, but there are certain criteria and metrics that can be looked at to narrow down where the transaction came from and who it went to based off of other criteria that is not related to blockchain technology, which then lends to they could find out, say, when someone does something illicitly, they can find out and trace where the money came from and trace where the money went and to who, for the most part. Now, that's just Bitcoin. Now, there are other cryptos where it legitimately doesn't, it strips all information away. If you want to buy or do something with those, they can't do anything about it because of the protocols that are used to keep them private. The Treasury Department has published 3 reports that identify key concerns for money laundering, terrorist financing, and weapons proliferation financing. Here's what each said about these cryptocurrencies. The use of virtual assets for money laundering remains far below that of fiat currency and more traditional methods. I wonder why. The 2022 National Laundering Risk Assessment, page 44. Terrorists' use of virtual assets appears to remain limited when compared to other financial products and services. Now, it may be limited because they can't actually find it or see it. There's that too. Maybe they haven't figured out that they actually can. Well, actually, they probably have figured out. They can't tell with absolute certainty that someone did X, Y, and Z, because you can send a transaction through a VPN and bounce it around the world, and no one will know where it came from or what it did or who it touched. There's lots of things like that. So maybe they're sitting there going, okay, we give up. We can't stop this. There's no evidence that a proliferation network has used a virtual asset to procure a specific proliferation sensitive good or technology. Case closed. Staff of the U.S. Treasury and authors of the report are the most knowledgeable and best equipped investigators and enforcers against illicit financing in the world. Moreover, the reports were reviewed by other U.S. government partners, including the Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and the FBI. There could not have been more authoritative source to convey these findings. It's comical, you know? It's comical. It's hilarious. Anyways. Oh, guys and gals, it's getting interesting. I'm loving the show. I'm loving what's happening. Today at 4:30, I should have a Patreon show. If you've gotten this far in this video, if you like the content, do me a favor, smash the likes. It helps the other folks in the world who want to find information relative to this to be able to find it. And at the end of the day, I personally really want to reach as many people with this as possible. Not necessarily they need to know. People need to know. There's so many people out there who say, buy this coin, sell this coin, this and that, and this and that. And I'm like, I like to take that 50,000 foot view of what's happening. And I like to connect the dots and how it's connected to the economy, how it's connected to the general markets, how it's connected and affects each individual person's lives, and how things like cryptocurrency are an exit strategy. It is an exit strategy for the vast majority of the global population to get out of the mess that this is in. Look at Russia. They're dumping their bonds, except they're making people accept them in rubles, which they drove into the ground. No one wants fiat. No one wants fiat. They want something else. That's why you've got the discussions of CBDCs. The governments of the world fell behind. They thought crypto would go away. They didn't think that people would actually take on to it. Well, they were wrong. They thought the internet would go away. So a lot of people thought the internet would go away. They were wrong. Things are happening in the world that are going to fundamentally change how we interact with each other, and it has a lot to do with this technology. It really does. I hope you're all ready. I'm ready. It's going to be very interesting. So, if you want to catch me later, 4:30 in the afternoon, join the Patreon. $5 a month. It's not a lot at the end of the day. It's like a coffee. Not even. Nowadays, the inflated prices. It really helps the channel out. It helps me be able to actually do these shows. So jump in there. Love it. Love each one of you all. You'll have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.